You will not believe how easy it is now to create an AI-powered simulation inside of Storyline. So check this out. I have a Storyline file here. This is a title screen. And the idea is we want to interview this retiring subject matter expert. So this SME has some different states like thinking, confused, happy, and alarmed. And I want an AI-powered simulation to live right here where we could actually talk to Frank, try to uncover some information from him, and do our due diligence as an instructional designer. So I'm going to use this new tool that I built, and check out how easy this is. So you can click on New Simulation here. We'll give our simulation a name. I'll call it the retiring SME. The learner is an instructional designer. And I'm going to paste in a brief description here. So the learner needs to interview Frank. He's a senior call center manager who is retiring in 2 weeks. Nobody has documented how Frank actually does his job. So I said the learner needs to uncover specific observable behaviors. And then at the end, I said the sim must use a storyline variable called Frank mood, because that's what I have inside of storyline, with these available states: neutral, happy, thinking, confused, and alarmed. And then again, that matches up to the exact states that we have here. And you can see I have some triggers where when Frank mood changes, we change the state of Frank over here to one of these different emotions. So that's how it works behind the scenes. Now I'm going to click on Generate Sim, and this takes around 35 to 40 seconds or so, so I'm going to speed this up. Okay, the simulation is ready, so now it will load up right here. We can preview it and play around with it here. I don't want to spend a lot of time doing it. I want to bring it into storyline, but let me just show you how this works. So the SME says, so what do you need from me? I've got about an hour before the afternoon shift starts. I'll be like, let's talk training. And we'll see what Frank's personality is like here. All right, seems like Frank isn't super talkative. He says, sure, what about it? So let's continue to the editor right here. And this is what got generated behind the scenes. So Frank has an entire personality that got generated. He has some character instructions. So start guarded and a little dismissive, short answers, mild sighs. So we saw that come through already. Feel free to pause and read this if you want. Here's where we set the opening line. So we could change all of this if we want, but you can see that there was an AI generated first pass that works out of the box. Here are these behavior triggers. So when the learner asks a vague or abstract question, the character shrugs and says something like, I mean, you just know how to read people after a while, and wait, giving nothing more. So it's really going to cause the instructional designer to ask some good questions. Let's hop over to this evaluation tab. So this is how the learner's performance will be evaluated in this simulation. So are they asking 2 questions grounded in specific situations? Right, you could read these. Are we allowing Frank to finish a story before summarizing or redirecting? So on and so forth. We might deduct some points if we tell Frank how his behavior approach fits into a training framework without being invited to. So again, we don't want to just dump training jargon on Frank. And then look at this publishing tab. So this is where we can publish it into Storyline 360, and we set those instructions. Again, this was all generated in 40 seconds based off that little paragraph I gave it. So, set to happy when the learner asks a question that generally surprises you or pulls out a story. Thinking when a question is specific enough to make you pause and recall. Confused when a question is too abstract or jargon heavy, or alarmed when the learner interrupts, misquotes you, or tries to force a framework on your experience. So let's see if we can mess with Frank a little bit. I'm going to scroll down here and copy this embed URL, and all we need to do now is paste this into Storyline, and this should work. So check it out here. So I'm going to go to the Insert tab, insert a web object, and I'm going to paste in this URL I just copied. I'll drag this over here, try to align it a little bit. This should be pretty good. And then all I have JavaScript wise is on the base layer. When the timeline starts, we are executing the single line of JavaScript that was also pasted from the tool. So that's like one of these steps. Oh yeah, this step right here. So that's all the code we have to work with. And now once it's ready, we can publish it. I'm just going to publish it to as a web package to my desktop here. And now we'll view the project and let's begin the simulation. So it loads up right here, and now we can actually have this real-time AI conversation with Frank. So let's see if we can mess with him. You've got an hour. That should be enough time for a job task analysis. I have a feeling he might not know what that is because he's not an instructional designer. So you can see Frank changes. Sure, yeah, job task analysis, whatever you want to call it. Do you even know what that is? He has a general idea. Oh, okay, so he does have a good idea. Okay, great. Can you tell me about a specific time you made a real impact on the job? Let's see if this is specific enough for him. It might not be. That's a pretty broad question, but he does start thinking. I mean, 28 years, there are a lot of days to pick from. Let me hop back over to the tool and see what the programming instructions were to make him alarmed, because that might be funny. Set to alarm when the earner interrupts, misquotes you, or tries to force a framework on your experience. So let's misquote him and see what happens. Okay, so you're saying you have never made an impact on the job? I'm sure Frank will love this. I don't get it. So, I've done a lot of trolling of these AI characters in my testing. What I will say, though, this is just a sneak peek. So you can see also in this storyline file, we do have a whole results slide. So it shows pass fail based on how the learner performs. It gives them a score based on all of those criteria and feedback. And there's a whole coach feature too. So I don't want to give away too much right now, but I am hosting a live event on Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. I'm going to show you exactly how to set up your storyline file to create a simulation like this. Everyone who comes to the event will get free access to the tool. So I've been working really hard on this. I can't wait to see what you create with it. You can sign up for the live event with the link in the comments, and please let me know what you think. All right, talk to you soon.